After years of absence on this channel, I may have returned from the Dark Ages and wanting to start a shelf city. Stay tuned. Hello YouTube, this is the Brick Maniac. Now, of course, I haven't uploaded in a very long time. Now, I'm sure you can probably predict the reason why, and that's because I went through a pretty extensive Dark Age and didn't touch LEGO for several years. Now, I will say that there wasn't a time where I didn't feel that LEGO was interesting. I just didn't have the interest and drive, nor necessarily the funds that I could allocate towards LEGO for an extensive period. So I think the interest was always there, but you could technically say that I was in a dark age if you compare to the way I used to collect in the previous times of documenting my YouTube channel. Now, of course, I would say that Dark Age, if you can really call it that, is definitely gone, although the time that I once had to dedicate to such a hobby, and which I know obviously this any hobby can be expensive, but I won't have the time, nor I know I definitely don't have the time at the current moment to dedicate as much time as I did towards the YouTube channel, and that's just part of life. Of course, I've gone through the entirety of high school and almost finished with college since the last time I uploaded on YouTube. So, of course, there's a large period of time, and those responsibilities have, of course, amassed, and just other things have taken center stage. But I don't feel that I want to completely disconnect this YouTube channel and throw it off the deep end. I understand that the YouTube system in itself has completely changed. The algorithms changed the way that YouTube videos are targeted, especially with things like short form content and the prevalence with that. And if you want to get into the attention spans of people now, that I think that maybe my previous content may not have that much of a draw, but I just want to get it out here that the goal, I think, for returning here would just be for enjoyment and trying to document and share my changes with my display and just LEGO in general. I think it's important to get back to the LEGO, which was my hope for the main focus of this video. And what I would like to do with this display, now, as you can see, there is several shelf spaces that are open, or there are shelf spaces that are open, and each shelf here can actually fit three base plates, three 32 by 32 base plates, and then a 16 by 32 base plate back here. And then there's actually a room, I believe there's room for, I want to say 3.5 16 by 16s. So my thought process here was, because of the new road system and the way that that can be integrated, I thought, well, especially with my Daily Bugle that I doubled, and with the Avengers Tower, that I could add some roads and create sort of a cityscape display. So in the time period that I've been absent from YouTube, I've seen some very interesting shelf display LEGO cities, such as people like Shy Time is My Time, and several others which I will put cards to or links in the description that inspired me to do this. Oh, as I actually just was talking there, I believe Kiwi Modulars is another channel that I got inspiration from to start a shelf city. But I think that that actually helps to maximize the space that I actually have, and really would allow me to maximize the amount of detail that I'd be able to put into it. So the trouble with a traditional city that I had previously was the amount of space that you actually have to cover can get very daunting, and of course there's a financial component there. And my previous focus with my channel was with trains and with the city, and I think trying to do both hand in hand and not having a real budget to build off of with LEGO made it very difficult to kind of hit the ground running. So I think now having the ability to kind of have my own display and control my destiny with this space, I think I'll be able to add a decent city display. Now, of course, I have sets like Rivendell and the UCS Falcon on the shelves, and my plan is to potentially move them. Now, of course, you can see that I mean, this is really the only genuine shelf space that I have that's outside of my closet that I can dedicate towards it. Now, fortunately, my closet does actually have a fairly decent shelf that is not being used. So that's real estate that I could use for sets like Rivendell and the UCS Falcon to clear up space for the city display. But my hopes is to potentially allocate some funds towards modular buildings and maybe some custom modular buildings from Rebrickable. But I think I want to get a hold of some modulars that I previously had. So, for example, I had the Brick Bank, but that was sold off years ago after I quit the YouTube channel. I think in 2018 is when I sold it off, and the rest of the modulars are gone. I do regret doing that, especially at a time that I understood the appreciation value of the modulars, but as a kid, I just didn't understand that, and I needed the funds for other various sources in my life. So I think the goal for that shelf display would be to have maybe 6 modulars. So I'll flip the camera around and then just kind of show you the plans that I would like to have. So the bare bone structure, I think, would be to have some modulars here, and I may do some set modulars, but of course that's a very common thing in most LEGO cities. And I feel maybe having some MOCs, or especially some rebrickable models, could help to differentiate it a little bit, and of course add some of my own unique flair to the display and make it a little different from others, because the characteristics of a city can of course be different between individuals, and I want to have something that is interesting to me but also not just the cookie cutter set designs. So my thought process is to have a couple of these set modulars. So in particular, I would like to acquire the detective's office, the brick bank, and the police station modular. Now, unfortunately, I just missed out on that one. That I believe just retired December 31st, and I missed out on it before it went out of stock because I bought the tower. But that was worth it, I think. But I have to pay a little bit more on Bricklink. But it's okay. It's as long as I allocate a budget towards that, it'll be doable. But the brick bank, the police station, and the detective's office, I think would look good here. I don't know. I don't know how I want to tier it, but as I've seen with other city displays that are on shelves, I think it may be important to have some sort of a theme. So the reason I'm thinking to do like brick bank, detective's office, and police station, not the exact order, but that would make sense for maybe, I don't know what kind of district that would be, but I want to create some sort of coherent flow within what modulars are next to each other. I would like to get the Natural History Museum, but again, I think the importance is, and what I didn't have in my previous city layout, was the buildings actually flowing together, because not all of the modulars, I believe, you put them just randomly next to each other, of course it doesn't look the best. So I would like to have some sort of just coherence. So I think, again, I have a bare bones blueprint idea. We already kind of have the top shelf ready to go, other than getting the shelf or the road base plates. So that will be something I need to tackle first. And then we can start on the other modulars. So this may be a quite long process. I actually can guarantee it will be, just to allocate all of the buildings and of course the changes that I would like to make. But I think documenting this can be quite interesting, and I will do my best to keep you posted. Now, of course, I do have other responsibilities that are, important life things that I have to address previously before posting things like YouTube. But I should be able to allocate some time, if I have building time, to upload progress updates on how the shelf display will be going, and I think it'll be interesting to document. I don't think I'm going to upload that much. It'll just be whenever there's updates on this, and I just really would like to get my feet wet again and try and connect with the community. So I hope you guys enjoyed this frankly pretty rambly video, and I look forward to updating you guys in the future.